In the United States alone, there is one divorce every 36 seconds. That's nearly 2,400 divorces per day, 17,000 divorces per week, and 876,000 divorces per year. Your marriage day is usually the happiest day of your life. Everyone believes that it will be like that every day thereafter. The sad truth is, nearly 45% of first-time marriages end in divorce. These are sad statistics, and we believe they can be changed one marriage at a time. In this podcast, my wife and I share what our over 33 years of marriage has taught us, how we dealt with the challenges that came our way, and in the end, how to love being married. Well, we just downed a whole bag of chips.
Not quite.
So I guess we can start.
But more than we should feel proud of.
Yeah, not quite. I probably had more chips than you. They were dill pickle chips. Those are hard to find, I guess.
They used to sell them, and we saw them at the store and had to buy them.
She loves dill pickles, and
I tried them. I made dill
pickles. Dill pickled chips.
Yeah, they were pretty really good. Lay's
really
dill
good.
pickle.
So they're a keeper. And speaking about keeping, you got your real estate license. Woohoo!
I did.
Way to go.
Yesterday.
So she is a real estate agent now. This podcast is brought to you by Shelley Seeger Real Estate. Call Shelley today.
Paul.
Or something like that. Anyway, she's the real deal now. And speaking of the real deal, so I was thinking about your orange juice. You we're on a food roll here today, I guess.
So I have to drink orange juice every morning.
Yep.
I love orange juice.
I like it too. It's good. But this one comment she said, this orange juice tastes like real orange juice, or real oranges, real orange.
It tastes like you're eating a real orange.
Yeah. It just cracked me up. It was pretty funny. You're so cute.
But Paul, not all orange juice tastes like a real orange. It doesn't. Kirkland orange juice does.
Yep.
It's not from concentrate.
Costco. And they aren't paying us a dime. If you're hearing this, Costco, we want in on your orange juice. We want at least a discount.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive. It is. So speaking of before we get into our topic, we had a little party for her.
Well, I told
graduation.
Avery we were going to have a party. I said, when Grammy's finished with her real estate school, let's have a party.
She's graduating, so let's throw a graduation party.
And so we went and we bought a Costco cheesecake and everything. And so I was telling one of our kids, hey, we got a dessert for our party tomorrow. And we won't say which child, but that child said, oh, what year did you graduate, Mama?
So it's like, every year I celebrate my high school graduation. It was so special.
I never got to celebrate.
I think I was, you were almost class valedictorian. You were close, but
no,
I think I had 450
number
people,
11 or
and
something.
I think I was right around the tail end of that, somewhere 400 and something. I don't know.
Whatever.
It's like, Paul Seeger, you're the last guy. Everybody can go home now. Yay! Everybody's clapping for me because I was the last guy. We can get out of here now. So, that was, I guess, back when they had graduations. This year it was weird.
Yeah.
No graduations. Anyway, our granddaughter. So this podcast is going to be about playing and dreaming together and vacations on the cheap. Because we are the king and queen of cheap.
Yep.
And
we're not as cheap now as we used to be.
So we're going to share our secrets. How to go to Hawaii for $1,700, including airfare. We'll tell you that story today. That caught your attention. But anyway, she said her dad has to go to Idaho a lot.
Yeah.
And her dad needed to leave for work. He was just leaving for work.
So he was giving her love.
And she says, I don't want you to go to Hi-Ho. Hi-Ho, off to work we go. No, we don't want that. But that's how she says Idaho, Hi-Ho. Don't want you to go to Hi-Ho. But we want to go to Disneyland one of these days. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, that would be. And the goats are gone.
They are. They're gone. So do you want to tell that story about what happened in their van?
Yeah, so they're getting their yard done now, so they had to get rid of the goats on Wednesday. And they lined the back of their van with a really nice...
I thought that was my goat sound, but that was my goat sound. Oops.
They lined the back of their van really good with a tarp, but apparently a mishap happened, and those goats made a real mess of their van, so they have to get it detailed now. Darn it. But Avery and Kendall were sad because their goats had to go home.
How's that?
Huh?
Don't do the goats. No. Dangerous. Goats are dangerous, it sounds like.
They did a good job.
That $25 did not...
Disappoint.
I guess it was good, other than
but
they
now
have
they
to
have
get
to
their car
detail their
detailed
van.
now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do that pretty well, don't I?
Yeah.
I've been practicing for a while. Anyway, here we go. So I guess before that, how did you do on your phubbing? And if you didn't,
I did so terrible. If you don't
know what phubbing is, that was our
I feel like I
topic
did
for
terrible.
last.
I don't feel like I did better than I was. I didn't do any better. I'm sorry.
Well, one thing I felt guiltier about it this week.
That's
Did you
true.
feel guiltier?
Yeah, I thought about it more while I was phubbing.
We will continue to work on it, but it definitely is a problem.
Yeah, it is.
So we've all thought about we need to stop phubbing. If you don't know what that is, check out our last podcast. We tell you all about what phubbing is.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't do it, but we do.
It's PHUBBING.
Yeah, spell it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, planning a trip, and so we need to. You have something you want to share. I'll let you go first.
So I read something this week that I thought was so great because it goes along with what we're going to be talking about. And it's about play and have fun. And so it's talking about having fun as a family, having fun with your kids and
your spouse.
But we're going to say how fun it is to have, you need to play and have fun with your spouse too. And so it says, playing together provides many opportunities for connection and learning. Having fun together relieves tension, encourages optimism, and increases positive communication. Research suggests that playing with our children strengthens the parts of the brain in charge of things like planning, regulating emotions, and getting along with others. But I would say, I bet that research would suggest that playing, doing fun things as a spouse or as a couple would do the same thing. Strengthen the parts of the brain in charge of things like planning, regulating emotions, and getting along with others. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting because I think, you know what? It is important to play and to have fun. Of course,
just as long as it's not always play.
Yep. Exactly. You need balance.
Sometimes I like to play too much.
No, that's not true.
That's not true, I guess.
I would say we could do a little more.
And on my day off, I had a few days off.
This whole week.
I did a few jobs that I wanted to get done. Some I've ignored for way too long. Way too long.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Those jobs didn't bother me waiting. So
had to fix the ceiling in the basement. That's always enjoyable.
Looks really good.
Tiny leak in the sink. Under the sink. Check your sinks. Underneath your sink, there could be a little flood that you don't even know about until it's too late.
A slow leak.
Anyway, had to fix that.
Yeah.
Wasn't $1 million worth of problem, but it was
almost free.
It wasn't. Yeah, I did it for free actually.
Other than paint.
Yeah, $20 worth of paint.
Yeah,
not too bad. So number one, when we plan a trip and go, when we can, how do we put that? Plan a trip and go when you can actually go. I'm not sure if I understand that one.
So I think what you're saying is right now maybe it's kind of hard to go on a trip. But maybe start dreaming and planning. Where do you want to go? Where would you love to go someday? I know that, like us, we haven't ever traveled much, but I would love to travel someday. And I think you would love to travel. Like my parents, the most fond memories that my dad has of my mom were of them traveling.
And they
literally
everywhere.
traveled the world.
They really did. They went everywhere. So anytime we want to know where some place is, we ask your dad because they probably visited there.
Yeah. Yeah. So start dreaming. You may not be able to go everywhere you want to go.
But it gives something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have something to look forward to.
Like someday you know where I want to go.
England.
And?
Uh-oh.
Italy.
Oh.
Europe. I want to go to Europe.
Oops, I failed the test.
Paul.
I knew you wanted to go to Italy. Kind of Europe.
Mm-hmm. Someday. Can't always go do whatever you want to do. You got to have money to do it too.
As they say, can't always get what you want.
There's a song.
We're going to try. We're going to plan. So plan and save for something. It gives you something to look forward to and give something for your marriage. And I think even if we can't go right now, plan a trip.
Okay,
Don't get bored. So we can plan a trip. We may not go, but we'll plan a trip.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay.
At least you can research places you want to go, what to do there, what foods to eat. Hopefully they have burger joints. Do they have burger joints in Italy?
Paul, I'm sure they have burger joints everywhere.
It's Italiano burger.
It's a salami burger.
Salami burger. That sounds fun. One of the things you can do is grow closer to your kids. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. We're going to plan some of our trips. And some of those trips took months and even years. Our first trip to Disneyland, how long did that take to plan?
Well, we didn't
save?
go until the twins were 18 months old. So Marissa was, 11 or 12 when we first went?
And our twins were
18 months.
18 months. Can't believe we went with 18-month twins to Disneyland.
They were in a double stroller.
Were we hoping to lose them?
No, they were in a double stroller, and they mostly, remember, we would just walk around and they would fall asleep, have their naps in the stroller.
And Caitlin, our daughter twin, because we have a boy and girl twins, she wanted a balloon. Remember, she threw a big fit and just wouldn't let up till we bought her this $6 or $7 balloon. So we had to buy her that balloon, of course, because she was throwing a tizzy fit. And
what do you do?
You always give your kids what they want when they give tizzy fits.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we talked about?
A tizzy fit works.
Yeah.
You
so
teach them the tizzy fit works.
Just like we said in one of our other podcasts, you don't give in to your kids unless they're at Disneyland throwing a tizzy fit, and then you give them what they want because it's so expensive there, you may as well.
Right.
Anyway, the first hurdle we had going to Disneyland was the cost. We just didn't have the money, so we planned and saved, and we included the kids.
We did.
So the kids could save up their money and be ready to go.
Well, the way that we did it, remember, is we would have like a family council many months in advance and say, okay, let's try to plan a trip to Disneyland, and so then we would say, now you need to start saving up your money for souvenirs because you'll need to buy your own souvenirs. And they would really save for their souvenirs. They would find jobs that they could do to make money and save up, didn't they?
They did.
And then we saved. But the biggest trick is we were cheap wads.
Still are.
Yeah, and we got great deals.
We had to look, and my wife, I have to give her kudos because she would call. And one of the first hurdles was the hotel because we had 5 kids
of us.
And the 2 of us. We did not have money for 2 hotels. Mm-hmm. So you called until you found I think it was Red Roof Inn.
Mm-hmm, which is no longer there.
They aren't around, but they actually let us
not at that one.
Have all of us in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So we put the kids horizontally in one of the beds.
Like in one of the queen beds, they would lay horizontally rather than vertically.
And one of the little ones, I think,
To
slept
fit more of
between us because we to try and fit everyone.
And sometimes we took air mattresses. We did whatever we had to.
We did whatever it took to do it. But we slept them on the floor horizontally.
And we didn't used to buy anything in the park. Like, we took all of our food. We would make all the sandwiches, take really yummy snacks, drinks.
We took everything, and then maybe...
I mean, we had a double stroller. We had plenty of room to put stuff, right? In the back.
We did. So we were on a budget. And then one time we went to Disneyland and we got a Priceline deal.
Yeah.
The problem we ran into there is we couldn't have everybody in the hotel because I think it was for 2 adults.
So then we felt like we probably 4 people, and so then we felt like
people.
we were hiding. It was kind of scary.
So our daughter at the time, she got really sick. She was little at the time. That might have been our first trip. Was that the first trip?
I think it was.
So she got really sick in the night, a bad fever. Maybe she had COVID at the time. That was
21 years ago.
21 years.
Or 20 years ago.
20 years ago, something like that. So we called down to the hotel and asked them if they had a nurse at the hotel, and they said that they did, and that they would come and take a look at
and
her,
I was
make
so
sure she
scared.
was okay. So we wake up half of our kids and we tell them, hey, you got to go into the bathtub because we don't want them to see that we have so many people here in the room. So we're hiding away our kids in the bathtub. It was like 2 a.m., I believe.
I think so. It was awful.
It was terrible.
It was fun. It's a memory.
It was fun. It's a memory now, but it was really stressful thinking, okay, what's going to happen? They're going to see all of our kids, and we're like, do not make a peep. Do not make a peep.
We're gonna
Hopefully
get
they don't want to
out.
go in the bathroom and get something, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was an interesting time. Very, very interesting. That was the first thing we did.
Remember that
hotels.
time one time when we were in California?
Sorry, we have our flea bag here.
And we
He's
went
making
to
some noise.
a grocery store because we used to go buy groceries, and we'd have like a little fridge, or sometimes we even used our cooler and used ice. But anyway, we would go buy groceries, and remember that one time we walked in and we're checking out, and this worker at the grocery store, this man, he goes, "What is this, the Brady Bunch? Where's Alice?" It's so embarrassing because they just act like they'd never seen 5 kids.
Yeah, they'd say, I think we had several people say, "Are these all yours?
Like both of yours?
Are these all yours?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys like, is this your third marriage? Are these?" It's like, no, these are all ours, both together. We're one of those unique ones, but yes, all 5 are ours. And we had this Astrovan, a Chevy Astrovan, and if
we
you know
may
what
have
that,
talked about the Astrovan.
yeah, we may have. But if you don't know what an Astrovan is, and sorry if I offend anybody, because we bought the van, but it's literally the ugliest van, I think.
Well,
don't you think it's the
remember when we were
ugliest
driving
van?
that at a store, and some teenagers yelled, "Hey, ugly boxcar van!"
You were so.
I was so
really
mortified.
upset.
That
Yeah,
made
I
me feel so sad.
Hey, I don't care.
I think
wear
I
it.
cried.
Yeah. Next month we got rid of it. I don't know if it was that quick.
No.
We had to keep it. It served its purpose, but we would squish everything in that van. Everything. And I remember some of those trips we actually would take a small microwave with us.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we'd squish so much stuff
I'd
in
even
there.
bring chest of drawers, like those plastic chest of
And I
drawers.
said, please don't take those drawers. But we were glad when we got there because, hey, who knew you needed scissors on your trip?
Oh, yeah. I always had everything we needed.
And it's like, what else do you need? Let's see, Metamucil. I got Metamucil here.
Anti-diarrheal?
Yeah, we got it all. We have everything you might ever want in these chest of drawers. They came in handy, but you like
Everybody
to
gave
take
me
those.
a hard time.
Yeah, we did. We are happy,
But
we
we were
asked not to.
squished.
Yeah,
And it was so embarrassing taking it all up to the room, remember? You
we
could've-
tried to hide it in the luggage stroller thing. You kind of drape things over there and just pack some pillows. It's like, why do you guys have 82 pillows in there? That's kind of what it looked like, 82 pillows. But it's
we
we'd
were always
scoot in there
there.
and hurry, open the elevator.
You know, that
Distract them.
that was fun, but you know what? Now it's not as embarrassing when we go places.
Yeah, the two of us, we don't tend to take the chest of drawers anymore. It's
Sorry.
good. No chest of drawers when we go. Do we have to take that to Italy when we go? No chest of drawers.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'll miss them.
giggly
It's like,
today.
where's your scissors when you need them? I could sure use a quilting rack here. Don't we want to quilt a quilt while we're here? They usually use those here in England.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, yeah, we'll leave the chest of drawers at home. So I'm tickling her right now. She usually doesn't laugh that loud, just when I tickle her.
Oh, breathe.
Oh, so anyway, I remember the boys though on one of those trips they found a wallet. Do you remember the wallet story?
Yes. Yeah.
And they came and said,
It
"Dad,
was like in an elevator at one of the hotels.
Dad, we found a wallet and it has a whole bunch of money and credit cards in there." So sure enough, we open up the wallet and I think there was at least $1,500 in there.
It was back in the days when people mostly used cash when they went on
mostly,
vacation.
yeah, cash. It was a cash system at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But credit cards, the ID was from Canada, so we knew they were from Canada, and they had tickets to Disneyland in there. So they had pretty much their whole trip in that wallet.
Yeah.
So obviously, being the great people we are, we spent the money at Disneyland and racked up all. What do you want, kids? And then
We can afford 2 rooms.
and then we returned the empty wallet. Now we were able to track the guy down and get his wallet back, and he was so thrilled to get his wallet back, as you may think. So we said, "Yeah, just remember your friends from Utah."
And you said, I
anyway.
couldn't remember this, but you said that he offered to give the kids a reward.
He
but-
did. He said, I'd like to give you guys a reward. And we said, "No, that's not how we are. We just want to get your wallet back, and you can just remember your friends from Utah." And he was pretty excited about that. Moral to the story there, give people's wallets back, right?
With their money in it.
So another thing we did to save a lot of money, and we're talking a little bit about our Disneyland trips that we took, but we would take a stroller, and when our kids got to be in their teens, we thought it's probably time not to take, we probably shouldn't take the stroller into Disneyland anymore. But it was really convenient because you could we'd take a bag full of all kinds of
Well, we bought really good
sandwiches and
snacks
treats
that
and
we never
snacks.
usually had. So it was...
And while everybody's starving and paying $18 for a cotton candy, we would get out our snacks, and they're like staring at us. And
we thought they were.
I think we
thought they
share
were
with
jealous
some of the
of
kids
us.
that were standing there drooling.
But that's how we did it.
Yeah,
that's how
we could not afford to eat at Disneyland. We just couldn't
Otherwise,
do it.
I mean, seriously, a
It was
meal
a
is
trip
at
we
least
could-
$10 a person there. So you'd be looking at $70.
And we did that a few times, but we'd get like the corn dog meal. You guys
No,
can get
we
the
didn't do
corn
the
dog.
corn dogs until the kids were quite a bit older.
We were solid then.
We could afford a corn dog.
Okay, kids, we're graduating. You can get a corn dog now. No fries. Actually, I think it came with fries.
Yeah, it's $10 for
And one
fries.
thing we learned actually at Disneyland and all the amusement parks in California is that if you ask for water, they'll give you a free cup of water.
Yeah,
It's
ice
a
water.
law in California.
Yeah, you can go up and just say, "Can I get a free ice water?" and they'll give it to
And
you.
they will. They'll give you free ice water. So that was nice. That was good. Somebody told us about that tip, but that was a good one.
That was a good
That's
one.
a good one. So we're passing it on.
Yeah, good tip.
So remember that. Free water. It comes in handy when you're at Disneyland. If we can ever go to Disneyland again, hopefully we can.
Mm-hmm.
Guess you can go to Disney World, but no Disneyland yet. Anyway, packed the stroller full of all kinds of goods, and that was nice. Some of the other things that happened, maybe memorable things. We'll talk about memorable things that we did. Is they weren't good memories at the time, but do remember Caitlin burned her arm?
Oh,
She was,
yeah. So what happened is
was that our first trip, or was that?
I'm not sure. But it was when I used a curling iron. You used to curl your hair. And so I had this curling iron and I had unplugged it, but I left the cord hanging off the vanity. And little Caitlin, I don't know if she stepped on the cord, but anyway, the curling iron came down, lodged in her her
Crease
arm,
of her
the
arm.
crease of her arm, and it literally burned the whole crease of her arm. Like pretty bad too.
It's bad enough that we did we take her to the doctor? I
No,
can't
I
remember.
I don't think we didn't have to do that, but we went, I think, to Walgreens or somewhere and bought some really good.
I think we asked somebody. I think we did go to the doctor there, and
Did
then we
we?
went to. We were at.
Well, we were at Knott's Berry Farm and
Knott's Berry Farm,
they bandaged her up.
and it started falling off the gauze that the
Mhm.
doctor had put on. I think we did go to the doctor there. We were good parents at the time.
We'll say we were.
Anyway, I think we went to the doctor, but the gauze fell off, so we went to the what do they call that? First aid station, and they
Knott's.
rewrapped it and gave her this cute little stuffed
pink
animal.
piggy. Yeah, I think.
I think she still has that.
I think so. I think it's around somewhere.
So that was a memory, for sure. One of the other things that happened, I don't know why, every time we went to California, something bad would happen like that. I don't, it seemed to
Mhm.
happen. Something happened. But this one year when we went, somebody decided to light every mountain in California on fire. I know that seems to happen, but you would look on the east, on the west, on the south, everything was on fire, and we ended up getting stuck on the freeway. And that
Because
was
it hopped I-15. It hopped the
did.
freeway.
So we're stuck on the freeway for several hours.
Or was it I-15? Anyway, one
and
of
we
the
had
freeways.
to take a different route. And at the time, you didn't have a GPS on your phone, or there was no such thing. We did MapQuest at the time.
But we hadn't
but if you went-
MapQuested going through Victorville to get to
Yeah,
Anaheim.
so we were going through Victorville from
But
Utah.
everyone was completely stopped on the freeway, so I got out of the car. I walked back and I just was asking people at different cars, does anybody have a map of California? And someone gave us a map and we were able to get off in Victorville and this really hilly road. It was like,
wavy.
yeah,
That was the
super
craziest
wavy
road.
and took us forever to get to California that year.
I remember it took us 10 or 11 hours from Las Vegas.
From Las Vegas.
From Las Vegas,
Mhm.
which is typically 4 hours or so,
Yeah, I think.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But it was
Something like
so long.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a long time.
And
with
when
a
we
bunch
got
of little
to-
kids. Not
And when
fun.
we got to Red Roof Inn, we were pushing our little stroller, and there was so much soot all over the sidewalk from all the fires that the wheels would make tracks on the sidewalk. Remember
it was
that?
bad.
Yeah.
It was just ash coming down everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So those were some of our fun moments, but memorable. So even if they're not so memorable at the time, it's a memory that we'll always remember, and it's something kind of funny now,
Mm-hmm.
not so fun at the time.
Should we tell them about how we went to Oahu for $1,700 and we stayed, 8 or 9 nights?
We did. Yes, we did. So let's talk about that.
Now this was just us, and it was just so fun. Yay.
It's fun. If you can get away from your kids and go.
We never really did, though.
We didn't till our
That wasn't
kids
really our
were
thing.
really old enough to be on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But after they got on their own, we started taking. We've only gone on a few trips actually alone, just
Mhm.
us, like big trips.
Yeah, we had planned to go to Florida maybe this year, but
But we went to Oahu for $17.
No, $1,700.
$1,700, yeah.
Including airfare. But that's, so for anybody out there, if you sign up for a credit card and and get a really good deal on a credit card, you can get lots of miles depending on the deal that, the time when you sign up. And so we both did that, and you have to spend a certain amount of money in the first 3 months, and you'll get all these miles, bonus miles. And so we got our round trip tickets that way. I think it cost us like $11.20 each round trip.
With tax and everything.
Yeah, that was it. And anyway, that was a blast, and found a really nice place right on the beach that we stayed. Literally, the backyard was the beach.
Actually, the ocean was so loud in that place that
it was hard to sleep.
It sounded like a tsunami all night long.
And the roosters.
Oh, yeah, and the roosters. I don't know where all those roosters come from, but in Hawaii, they are everywhere, and they wake you up.
Just these wild roosters everywhere.
Roosters. Oh.
Yeah. But that was really fun. And so we've just had, good one, Paul. We've just found creative ways to be able to do some fun things. We're not extravagant by any means, are we?
No, we're still pretty cheap. We try to be careful.
Yeah. But it makes good memories. And I think it is so important to play together and have fun together and have fun things to dream about.
I think the main takeaway here is you can do some fun things. And if you save, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can be really careful and save and save. And when I grew up, we didn't go on. I think we went on a trip to Yellowstone and a couple camping trips. But that's all I remember. My dad was a real workaholic. He worked a lot. And we just didn't go anywhere. We couldn't afford it.
Right.
So we didn't go anywhere.
And my family, we camped.
You guys camped a lot.
We camped, but we also went to Disneyland, and we even went to Washington, D.C. Once because my brother got on at Delta Airlines, and
didn't your sister work at a hotel?
And my sister worked at a hotel downtown, so she got a really good deal for us on the hotel, and my brother got us on the plane for really cheap. So, we did that.
So there's another thing. Trips. Make sure your kids, one of them works at the airport and one works at a hotel.
There you go. That would help.
That's what you need to do.
That's right.
I know what you need to do for your job. Work at the airlines.
But don't you think it's important? It's important to find things that you can just dream and hope for and plan for. Things that you can do together and have fun. It grows you closer to each other.
And a cheap thing that we did do is we did do some camping. And
we did,
any of those that know me know that I'm not a camper, but I was a pretty good sport.
Yep. And we bought our little tent trailer.
And I would go ahead and go camping. So we invested in this tent trailer. And we would just go for a night or two.
We would
really close.
Just go like Friday afternoon until Saturday a lot. Just one night.
So nothing too extravagant. We didn't go very far. Most of the places we went were an hour or two away is all. Mm-hmm. But the kids loved it. And even if you don't have a tent trailer, they would love a tent.
You wouldn't, but
I wouldn't love a tent.
Kids would love a
kids, tent. They love a tent.
Mm-hmm.
And they even like if you think about kids, they'll even make a tent in your house with the blankets.
I told Avery we're going to make a fort. Next time the grandkids come over, we're going to make a fort. And it's going to be big enough for you and Grammy. Papa
for me
and Grammy.
Too?
Mm-hmm.
Hope I can get in there.
We're going to get in the fort. I told her.
Well, if you told her, I'm going to be ready to go in the fort. We'll do that. But on those camp trips, I know the kids would use hot dogs and catch, we call them crawdads, but I think they're crayfish, right?
I don't know. I always thought they were crawdads. We went up to Crystal Hot Springs, and you could put like a piece of hot dog on the end of a stick and catch them.
Yeah, they were very fun. Crawdads
Kids
are...
loved it.
Some people eat them.
We didn't eat them.
I got a guy at work that says they're delicious.
Ew.
I'll have to take his word for it.
Me too.
You want to try a bowl of crayfish? I guess
Crawdads.
there's restaurants around that sell those things. Some kind of a soup.
Not interested.
So, and if you hear the mower, I guess there's a mower going in the backyard somewhere. The neighbor. Sorry about that. Hopefully we can cut it out in the editing session, but if not, you'll hear a little bit of a mower. Anyway, anything else on trips and vacations?
Oh, yes. One last thing. So when we used to go camping, Paul would always tell us night stories. And so we would all say, Daddy, they'd say, Daddy, tell us a story, a nighttime story. And Paul would just go making up all these awesome stories. It was amazing. I loved those stories, and the kids loved those stories.
I made them up.
You're a good storyteller.
Now go to bed, or that guy I told you about will get you in the night. I don't think I told them stories like that. I don't
No,
want to
you would
scare 'em.
never have told them stories like that. No way.
No, I wouldn't do that. But they seem to like stories. I don't know. And I noticed that sometimes vacations, you get what you think they should be up in your head, and they don't turn out to be exactly as you had anticipated. So when they things don't turn out to be the story, the magical story that you thought it was, the dream you dreamt, then you kind of get cranky.
Speaking of having a positive attitude, something else that I read said, remember the blessings in your life. Gratitude helps develop a positive attitude.
I like that.
Good, huh?
And I think a call to, what did we call it? A call to action.
Okay, yeah. What's our call to action? Let's go on a trip.
Let's go on a trip.
Let's go have
We're
fun.
going to go on a trip.
Let's dream a dream.
In a few weeks from now. Let's go on one.
Okay.
We're going to make that happen. But the thing I was going to say about a call to action, and this isn't related, and maybe we can do a podcast exactly on this topic, but I think there's so much hate right now in the world, and so much fighting, and just people seeing indifferences in everybody, that the call to action is to find something to do nice for someone else.
Good. Okay.
So this week, as a listener, find something to do nice for somebody this week.
And it could be for your spouse.
We'll report. It could be for your spouse. It's a good thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your spouse.
Or for someone else. Okay.
So can we report on that next week? Not that I'm going to brag about it. I don't like bragging about what I do, but if we don't do it, we can't be accountable.
That's true. We were not good with phubbing either.
So we are working on the phubbing thing, and we hope all of you are too. We hope that you plan some trips, and we did it. And we did a day trip here just a couple of days ago.
Oh, that was so
I was
fun.
off. We just drove
up to Willard or to North Ogden. We went to Far's and got an ice cream cone. It was fun. Went to see your sister.
It wasn't too far off the beaten track, as they say. It was an hour or so each way. But it was fun. It was fun to get out and do something.
Oh, and we had a picnic in the car because I made sandwiches.
We did. So even if you don't dare go in anywhere, you can have a picnic in the car.
Yeah, it was fun. Hey, one thing I do want to clarify, you know how I was talking about getting a credit card and getting miles? I just want to caution anyone that's listening. We don't pay interest on a credit card, and we would never advocate you getting credit cards and,
No, we've never paid interest on a credit card.
Never. Not
ever.
Even a penny.
So pay them off, because if you can't afford it today,
you can't afford it tomorrow.
Hey, that's the saying. If you can't afford it today,
you can't afford it tomorrow.
Amen, sister.
Amen, brother.
Anyway, so do something fun with your spouse, with your family. Plan a little vacation. Even if you can't do it right now, plan it. And start saving, start dreaming, because those dreams are part of what makes the vacation so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Start now and dream.
Yes, I agree.
So start now. And we're going to try and do something for somebody
else.
Yeah, do something nice for somebody else. We're going to do that.
Awesome.
Well, I think we've chit-chatted enough. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else?
Not that I can dream up.
Okay. Well, we hope y'all have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend. This is Saturday, so whenever your week starts, have a wonderful week or weeks. Have a wonderful month. And we hope you all love being married.